Chapter 7 Discovery. The moment everything changed came on a rainy Sunday afternoon. Damian had gone out early, saying he had meetings. Aria thought she had the penthouse to herself. She sat at the table, blueprints spread out, sketches and notes everywhere, working on the final touches. She was so focused she didn't hear the elevator open. She didn't hear footsteps approach. "Beautiful," a deep voice said from right behind her. Aria jumped, her heart stopping. She spun around. Damian was standing there, dripping wet from the rain, staring down at the table. Staring at her drawings. Staring at her handwriting. Staring at the notes she had scribbled in the margins, notes exactly like the ones he had been receiving from the architect for months. He didn't look angry yet. He looked confused. He looked stunned. "Damian, I can explain," she stammered, scrambling to cover the papers. But he caught her hand, stopping her. He picked up a sheet. Then another. Then another. He recognized every line, every idea, every correction. He knew these drawings better than he knew his own face. He looked from the papers to her face. Back to the papers. Back to her. "It's you," he whispered. The realization hit him like a physical blow. "All this time, it was you. You were the architect." He let go of her hand and stepped back, as if she had burned him. His expression shifted from shock to hurt, to cold, icy fury. "You lied to me," he said, his voice low and terrifyingly calm. "You told me you studied a little. You told me you remembered some things. You let me praise you, her, this mystery architect, while you stood there and smiled and said nothing." "Damian, please listen," Aria begged, tears spilling over. "I couldn't tell you. You hate Hale Construction. You said you would never trust them. You said if you knew I was part of it. So you lied," he shouted, making her flinch. "You let me fall in love with you, thinking you were one person, while you were actually part of the company I despise. The architect I've been thanking. The woman I trusted more than anyone." He paced away, running his hands through his hair in pure agony. "Do you know how stupid I feel? I thought you were the only honest thing in my life. I thought you married me to save your father. But really, was it all a plan? Did you marry me just to spy? Just to get access to my ideas? Just to steal my project?" "No," Aria cried, shaking her head frantically. "I married you to save my father. I kept my job secret because I was scared. Scared you would leave me. Scared you would think I used you. Damian, I love you. Everything I did, every design, every solution, I did it because I love you and I believe in your vision." Damian stopped pacing. He looked at her. The love was still there in his eyes, fighting against the betrayal. "You were Hale Construction," he said bitterly. "And I promised myself I would never work with them. Never trust them. And you are the best of them." He looked at the blueprints scattered across the table, the masterpiece they had created together, without even knowing it. "Get out," he said quietly. Aria froze. "What? Get out of my house. Get out of my life. The contract is broken. You lied. You tricked me. I don't want to see you again. Damian, please, go," he roared, turning his back to her. Aria packed her things quickly, her heart shattering into a million pieces. As she walked out the door, leaving behind the home she loved and the man she adored, she left one drawing on the table. The final design. The one she had drawn thinking only of him. Damian didn't look at her as she left. But the moment the elevator doors closed, he sank onto the floor, head in his hands, and wept. Chapter 8 Falling Apart. The days after were dark and empty. Aria moved back to her old apartment, small, familiar, but feeling completely wrong without Damian. She tried to work, but she couldn't focus. Every line she drew reminded her of him. Every building she saw reminded her of their tower. Her father was worried. What happened? Why did you leave? The project is almost finished, Aria. We need to present the final designs to Sterling Group next week. You have to be there. I can't, Dad, she said, her voice broken. He hates me. He thinks I tricked him. He never wants to see me again. Meanwhile, Damian was falling apart too. He threw himself into work, working 20 hours a day, pushing everyone to the limit. But without Aria, nothing worked. His decisions were harsh. His designs felt empty. He looked at the blueprints she had left behind, the ones she had drawn, the ones she had touched, and he felt a pain worse than anything he had ever known. He missed her laugh. He missed her insight. He missed the way she looked at him like he wasn't a cold king, but just a man. His assistant came into his office one morning, nervous. "Sir, Hale Construction is coming today for the final presentation. They want to show the completed designs. Should I cancel?" Damian looked at the calendar. He wanted to say yes. He wanted to burn everything and start over. But he couldn't. The designs were perfect. They were her perfection. And deep down, he knew, he needed to see her. "No," he said gruffly. "Let them come. But, only the lead architect. No one else." He sat in his office, waiting, his heart hammering in his chest. He was angry. He was hurt. But he was also desperate. When the door opened, Aria walked in. She looked different. Her hair was pulled back strictly. She wore professional glasses. She had a folder in her hands. She looked like the architect she was, and nothing like the wife he had loved. She placed the drawings on his desk. She didn't look him in the eye. "Here," she said, her voice steady but quiet. "This is the final design. Everything is adjusted. Everything is safe. Everything is exactly what you wanted." Damian stood up slowly. He walked around the desk, stopping right in front of her. He was close enough to touch her, but he didn't dare. "You designed this," he said. "It wasn't a question. Yes. You solved every problem. Yes. You made it perfect." Aria finally looked up. Her eyes were red-rimmed and sad. "I made it perfect, because it was yours. I made it perfect, because I love you." Damian clenched his fists, fighting the war inside him. "You lied to me, Aria." "I did," she admitted. "I was wrong. I was scared. But I never cheated you. I never stole from you. Everything I gave you was real. My work was real. My heart was real. Even if my identity was hidden, everything else was true." She turned to leave. "You can accept it or reject it. You can pay or sue. I don't care anymore. I just wanted you to know, I didn't marry you for the company. I married you to save my father. And I stayed, because I fell in love with you." She walked out, leaving Damian alone with the masterpiece they had built together. He looked at the drawing. He looked at her empty chair. And for the first time since he was a boy, Damian Sterling realized that he had everything he ever wanted, and it meant absolutely nothing without her.